unexpected. It's not a truth that arrives loudly, and it's rarely obvious at first. It usually creeps in quietly through a pattern of behavior, strange silence, maybe an inconsistency between words and actions. And suddenly, or maybe gradually, we realize that the person we've been investing our time, energy, and heart into isn't with us for the right reasons. Maybe they were just drawn to your appearance. Maybe they were only into you for your money, or the opportunities you could offer them. Maybe they were just enchanted by the way your presence opened doors, or the ease with which you made life comfortable. But what becomes painfully clear is that they weren't truly drawn to you, not the real you, not the you who lies awake some nights worrying about the future, not the you who laughs too loudly at stupid jokes, not the you who feels deeply, dreams big, or cries when no one's looking. They wanted the idea of you, or what you could give them, not who you are at your core. And that realization, that moment of clarity, it hits hard. It's a sucker punch to the gut. You think back to every conversation, every sweet moment, and wonder, was it all just an act? You replay their compliments, their affections, and you begin to notice how many of them were surface level, how few were about your mind, your values, your soul. There's a mourning that follows, and not just for the relationship, but for the illusion that you'd built around it. You grieve the authenticity that you thought you had. You grieve the trust you'd given away so freely. And here's the thing. It's okay to feel that. It's okay to be stunned. It's okay to feel betrayed, even if the signs were there and you just chose not to see them. Love is, by nature, hopeful. We want to believe the best in the people we let close. We want to trust that when we open our hearts, the other person is doing the same. So don't blame yourself for being open, for being generous, for loving someone who wasn't capable of, or at least interested in, loving you back in a meaningful way. But once you see it, once you know it, you can't unsee it. And then comes the most important part, deciding, what do I do with that knowledge? It's not easy to walk away from someone you've grown close to, even if they don't truly see you. It's not easy to turn away from the comfort of companionship, even if that companionship was built on false pretenses. There may be a voice in your head that says, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe they'll change. Maybe I'm overthinking it. That voice is understandable. It comes from a place of longing, of hope, of wanting to salvage something from the wreckage. But that voice is dangerous if it convinces you to settle for less than you deserve. What you deserve, what just the surface you present to the world, but that messy, complicated, brilliant person underneath. Someone who stands beside you not because of what you can do for them, but because of how you make them feel just by being who you are. So when you realize the person you're with is only interested in your looks, your bank account, your connections, whatever the shallow reason may be, you have a responsibility to yourself to step away, to walk or run if you need to, not out of anger, though that certainly might have been there, not even out of bitterness, though that's, again, completely understandable, but out of respect, out of love for yourself. Cutting ties is never easy, especially when emotions are involved. You may be tempted to explain yourself, to lay everything out in the hopes they'll understand, maybe even apologize or beg you to stay. But you don't owe them a lengthy explanation. You don't owe them a second chance. You don't need to convince them that they've been shallow or selfish or manipulative. Chances are they already know. Or worse, chances are they just don't care. So say what you need to say. Speak your truth with clarity and grace, and then let them go. Block the number, mute the social media, remove the reminders, not because you're petty, but because you're protecting your peace, because you are drawing a line in the sand and saying, I will not be used. I won't be loved conditionally. I will not invest my heart in someone who only wants the packaging and not the contents. And in the quiet that follows, there will be pain. There will be doubt. There will be long nights when you wonder if you made the right choice. But in time, if you let it, there will also be strength. There will be pride. There will be a sense of dignity that comes from standing up for yourself. You'll remember that your worth is not up for negotiation. Love is not a transaction. That you're not a product to be consumed. You're a person to be judged. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find someone one day who looks at you, really looks at you, and sees the light in your eyes, the strength in your heart, and the story behind the scar. Someone who asks nothing of you but your truth, and offers you the same in return. Until then, choose yourself.